Hello everyone, my name is Chris, and as a completely new Overwatch player, I decided to give myself a challenge and learn one of the hardest characters in the game, Genji. Here are my 10 hours. Let's get started. Hour 1, and we are going for a Dorado game. It's interesting how Genji is one of my most requested character on the channel, as well as he is the most popular character in the game. Yet I always felt like I don't want to play him. I always felt like the character is hard. I always felt like the character is out of my potential. I felt that I am mechanically bad in order to utilize the whole kit. And oh boy, was I absolutely right. This was my first blade of the game. I have never touched this character before, and as you can see, I am a complete mechanical failure. I struggle to land my kunais, I struggle to go for actual shifts. I have no idea what am I doing, and the games that I've won because I got carried. Here is my first nano blade, which was really interesting. You can see how lost, confused, and shocked I am. And this is my first 1 versus 1 on a fight. TLDR, I completely failed it. My boy even discorded that guy, and I could not finish the job. I watched a few guides before and I practiced in a practice range, yet it was absolutely not enough. Hour 1 was a complete failure and we have 9 to go. Looking back at the whole experience, I absolutely regret hopping straight into the competitive queue. I am currently about Masters level and lobbies are quite hard. Opponents know exactly what to do against your character, how to counter it properly. Yes, they are making mistakes, they are not the best players in the game, but I felt that I would want to spend a few hours in quick play in order to really learn the mechanical part of the character, because every single time I would go for a blade, I would feel like an absolute failure. I would feel like I absolutely do not deserve to be in this lobby. Every single time I would press tab, I would always be at the low tab. Sometimes my support player is gonna have more damage than me. And every single time I would play with Ana player, he's gonna farm Nano Blade twice as fast as I would farm my Blade. Yeah, he would farm his Nano way faster. This Blade was kinda cool. And I would have some good highlights here and there, but you should understand that every single time I would go for a highlight like this, it's gonna be like, oh, really? I can do that. It's not like I am used to getting stuff like this. Yeah, it was absolutely rough. Hour 2, and overall this whole Genji challenge showed me how delusional I am in terms of my skill on the character and as a DPS player itself, and I have a very long road in order to improve as a player. This Genji challenge showed me that. Alright, going for my next hour of complete pain, suffering, torture, misery, sadness and sorrow, we are hopping onto the Midtown. And my opponents decided to absolutely devour my self-confidence right from the start, picking Zarya, Junkrat, Brig, who else is there, Moira. And I would say that this is not a pleasurable match to play when you are going Genji. I would rather stick to Pharah Mercy, I would rather go Soldier and try to go for a very traditional way, yet nothing was absolutely working as intended, and even this Nano Blade was failed quite miserably. I don't have many highlights because guess what? I fed every single time I would go in a line of sight of my enemies. I felt like absolute failure, and even here I'm like, yo, what's gonna happen if I dash into the Reinhardt who is charging in? I just died from cringe. Here we are going for nice picks onto the Mercy and Widowmaker, as well as helping our Rhine with his duel. Unfortunately, I wasted my blade for completely nothing. We were 2 versus 1, and I just decided to go for it for memes and lulz, and probably it was a great idea as a result, because we just could not quite kill them right from the start. Here I deflected Healing Orb and got the kill onto the Moira, got the kill onto the Mercy, but that's still not enough to win the game and carry my teammates. At hour 4 mark, I realized that you have to have guts if you want to play Genji. especially if you are a new player and want to learn the character. The amount of toxicity, the amount of bullying, the amount of hatred and bad comments that I have received for my own gameplay was absolutely through the roof. And I can't help myself but inflict that onto my person, because every single time I would end up in a situation where I would 100% would have won this game and carried this game on the soldier because of my good aim, because the soldier is just a better character overall, I would feel like I am a complete failure. My Genji gameplay was rough. I never had the success I wanted. I was always low tab, and I decided to shut down the world completely. I decided to mute the chat. I decided to get away from the voice chat and just focused on my own gameplay unapologetically. Hour 5 was the moment where I realized that I have made so much progress in comparison with my hour 0. I finally understand how and when to press my buttons. I am finally implementing right click plus melee, and I was able to get some clean kills with that. Oh my god. My blades are still horrendous and there is nothing I can do with that. I feel like it's never gonna get fixed. Even at hour 10, my blades were god awful. It takes way more time to really learn how to use this ultimate properly. This was a funny moment with Passion and Reinhardt. Jesus Christ, I love it. But as you can see, my gameplay is quite cleaner than it was before, and I am having a lot more fun playing the character, yet I would still lose games. I would still get into Masters lobbies, and players would absolutely destroy my ego, absolutely make me think that I am a complete disaster of a player. It feels like Genji takes quite a lot of time to really learn. This was a funny moment. I killed D.Va here, and like you should actually see what happened here. This was so funny. So the D.Va goes in with the bomb, which was super interesting. What is that bomb? And got completely eliminated. I was going for the Cassidy, my friend, I'm sorry. And here is my famous 1 versus 1 with Ana. We tied. I feel like every single time you would go on a lose streak, you either fail miserably and just delete the game and never play it again, or you develop a character or behavioral characteristics that allow you to really operate onto another level. Like the fact that you're invulnerable to the hate and the rage that you got upon yourself for playing the Genji, the fact that you are invulnerable to wins or losses, you are not affected by that. This is like a stoic way of doing so. It actually told me a lot about how I want to live my life, and instead of focusing on my results, I would focus on the process. I would actually try to find value and beauty into every single dash that I would do, into every single shuriken that I throw. And I feel like there is like a lot more in a philosophical state rather than, oh, I just won the game, I just lost the game. Oh, look, I'm Masters 2 now. No, I'm Masters 1 and I get GM. I feel like this does not matter if you really enjoy the game. Hour 7 is gonna be another key moment in our story because I deranked and now I am playing easier lobbies. Plus, I have learned a lot in terms of my mechanical skill. I've watched quite a few VODs. I watched the VOD review by Necros. Thank you very much for that kind of content. It was eye-opening. I realized how bad I am at the game. I realized that there are so many things that I can improve in order to be a useful part of the society instead of being a trash can. So here I have about 2 hours left in the challenge, and I am so eager to finish that up. Did I like the challenge? No. It was horrendous right from the start. I failed miserably at every single thing that I could possibly fail. I failed my blades, I would fail nano blades, I would fail my deflects, I would fail my dashes in, I would fail my dashes out, I would fail my shurikens, and I would not be able to hit easy kills. And oh well, was it a complete mistake? I feel like Genji is never going to be my favorite character, and it takes time to kind of realize that. But it was a great challenge for me. Maybe I'm gonna get back to this character later on when he's gonna get buffed, or something else happens, or the characters that counter Genji will get nerfed, so he's gonna get buffed indirectly anyways. Here was a nice nano blade, probably one of my best nano blades that I did so far. I'm like, whoop, 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 whoop. Nice. It was horrible right away. And here, the lack of the communication hits in. It's just the fact that you are not speaking in the microphone, the fact that you're not coaching your team, IGLing your team, just makes it so hard. Like, look at my Ana. Zero view on where opponents are. Last and final day of the challenge. And hour 9. We are approaching this hour with a new mindset. I decided to unmute everyone. I decided to speak. I decided to admit my mistakes. If I would low tap, if I would be the least damaged in the team, I'm gonna say yeah, that's my bad, boys. That's my bad. I wanna call out shots. I wanna call out nano blades. I wanna be as useful as I possibly can on Genji, and I realize that I can deal the same amount of damage as my DPS and even more, even if he is pocketed or something. So after a good night of sleep, it feels like I have rejuvenated my skills and, or not even skills, but the ability to think and ability to absolutely destroy my competition. So my Genji was kind of clean looking at those clips, and I am absolutely happy with my progress. Unfortunately, missed out on the opportunity to get Tracer here, but that's life. Last and final hour of the challenge, and it's time to give my honest thoughts about the character. Did I like it? No. It was horrendous. I would never want to repeat that. Was that a good experience? Absolutely. It taught me a lot about mental resilience. It taught me a lot about how to stand on your own ground, how to never even care about the opinions of others, because one of the most important things you have to do in your life is to hear yourself out and listen to yourself. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Take care.